Welcome to another week of the SoReal Sports Podcast with your host, the CEO / owner of SoReal Studios LLC, Lamar Segment, and my partner in crime all the time, Reggie Walker. Going on, man?
Man, rushing, running, ripping, rushing, everything. Today has been a hectic ass Monday.
How was your week though?
Weekend was pretty cool. What I do Friday. I was supposed to watch that Boosie movie Friday after we did the podcast. I ended up not watching it until Saturday morning before college football came on. And to give my grade on that Boosie movie, I'm gonna give it a solid 6 out of 10. It really could have been a 4 out of 10, but just because I fuck with Boosie, it's gonna be a 6 out of 10. It definitely did not deserve to be 2 hours and 5 minutes long. It was way too long. Yeah. Now and at the same time, it wasn't as detailed as some of the other documentaries that he's done before in the past. It's just like I think it could have been put together a little bit better. Kind of had some shady acting. The characters were kind of misplaced on, the people. If you know Boosie, then you know he gonna talk about his Uncle Donkey. He gonna talk about Calvin Rich and just different people from his lifestyle throughout his music that he had mentioned. Even C Murder and stuff like that. But ultimately, I can't say it was just bad, but it wasn't all that good. If I would have had to pay for it, I would have been pissed off. But yeah, other than that, so Saturday consisted of all day college football and transitioning into a lovely, and when I say lovely, I mean fucking lovely UFC from my end, as far as picks go. But yeah, Sunday turned out good. My wife's team won. I won. So yeah, it was pretty good. Today was a boring ass Monday, and I ended up having to go to the airport for some extra shit that I got coming up. But yeah, how about you, man? What you had going?
Well, I was a chauffeur to my daughter's movie thing. Went to go see Dear Evan Hansen, and
oh
yeah,
how was it? I've been seeing mixed reviews about it.
It's a musical. So
yeah, I know. But
and
some musicals are okay.
Huh?
Some musicals are okay.
Yeah, I mean the last musical I seen was Mamma Mia, and it gave me a headache. It was too much music. But this one was also too much music. But I like the storyline. I really like the storyline, and I like the message that you're supposed to get out of it. Because one thing I did learn within the past 3 years is definitely concerning your mental health and depression. I've really been looking more into that now than I have ever in my entire life. And it's pretty much it's a good movie to watch. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a really good movie to watch, but I just don't like crying. And it's a very emotional type of movie. And I just didn't want to go to the movie theater, and I'm a chauffeur, and her boyfriend looking at me, is your daddy crying? No, not crying. All right.
It's allergy season.
Right. That's a COVID symptom.
Right.
But overall, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I believe she enjoyed it, being there with him. And I just got to say, I'll tell you after the show.
I was just gonna ask you, like, how is he?
I don't want to disrespect him.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it.
But besides that, everything was good. And like you like UFC, I also like UFC. Even though yours we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. So let's just get to it. Let's just go ahead and get to it. We're gonna give you the recap of what happened this weekend on our Muscle Shirt Friday, and also our 3-bet challenge. So we got that going on, and plus we'll give us our takeaways from this weekend and end it with my segment.
All right. Sound good, man.
Sounds good. Let's get started. First match, we had Jessica Andrade taking on Cynthia Calvillo. We both picked Jessica, right?
We did both pick Jessica.
And Jessica did win.
Jessica did win.
Now, this is the one that I did not end up seeing. I actually showed up pretty late.
Oh, it was real quick. It was real. When I say it was 6 seconds.
Damn.
6 seconds into the first round and TKO.
Yeah. Well, that's probably why I missed it because that's probably I missed it. It was that fast. All right. So we both got that one right. Let's move on to the next one between Curtis Blades versus Jarenzenho Rosenstreak. And Jarenzenho lost. Unanimous decision went to Curtis Blades.
Yeah. I'm kind of bothered by the score, but not too much. He straight up won, but that second round to me was kind of iffy. I think Rosenstreak came in with some, I think he won that round. Okay. So that's the only thing I gotta say about that.
I ain't watched this one either. I think this was around the time I was at the movie theaters and I was just heading back. I just thought about it. I was just heading back and we started watching. But I did get to this one. Nick Diaz taking on Robbie Lawler. And this one right here, we both picked Robbie Lawler, and he won by knockout in the third round. And first of all, why the hell was this a 5-round?
I have no idea. I thought the co-main and the main was the only 2 5-rounders.
This was a 5-round. This shouldn't have been a one round. Because Nick Diaz looked god awful.
I mean, just straight ass.
God awful. That first one, he was throwing licks, but they were like taps, love taps. Yeah. That's how soft they was when he was throwing.
Lawler never backed. He just stayed on his ass the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty bad. That was terrible. Matter of fact, he shouldn't have came back, just to be honest with you. He shouldn't have came back.
No, there's no point. Now you should stay gone forever.
Right. All right.
You shouldn't even be an announcer.
Whatever. All right. Let's move on to this one right here. This next one, we got Valentina Shevchenko taking on Lauren Murphy, in which we both picked, obviously, Shevchenko. And she showed why she's one of the baddest women on the planet. She ended up winning this one easily. Knockout in the 4th round.
Yeah, I mean, we all saw it coming. I think both of us predicted it a little earlier. But, yeah, I mean, a knockout's a knockout. A win is a win. We predicted it. So,
yep.
Kudos to us on that.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's get to the last but not least. Definitely not least. This match between Alexander Volkanovski taking on Brian Ortega, in which this was one of the best fights of this year. Matter of fact, probably one of the best fights in the past 2 years. But Volkanovski ended up winning this match. So he remains the champion. It was a unanimous decision after 5 rounds. And shockingly, I can't believe it actually made 5 rounds because Brian Ortega, it looked like he was out after the 3rd round. The 3rd round looked like he had the chance to win. He had him in 2 submissions. Volkanovski found a way to get out of him, and he ended up winning. Because after that 3rd round, after he tried to put him in those 2 submissions, he was well out.
Yeah, I mean, you can't expect anybody that big to just have win like that unless I mean, I understand that they train, they condition, but I mean, you just held somebody in 2 submissions and now you got to go through 2 more rounds. You gonna get your ass punished.
Then what made it even worse is the fact that he ended up getting busted open off a accidental headbutt. So that pretty much put him way weak.
Yeah.
And Volkanovski he took advantage. He took advantage of that opportunity of him being exhausted and him having that accidental headbutt to open him up. And he finished the job. But I gotta give kudos to Brian Ortega because he battled. And with that being said, I don't mind taking this shot for it.
All right.
We already getting started on shots. Now let's go to baseball.
You're drinking the Christian Brothers?
Yeah, my bro. Old Christian, bro. About empty though. All right, let's go to this MLB. That was it on the UFC. Let's go to the baseball, in which we had 5 series to discuss. Let's talk about this first between the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox, in which we both picked the Red Sox to win 2-1. Turns out, Yankees swept them. Yankees swept them.
Did not see that.
Did not see that coming either, and it was very shocking to me. But kudos to the Yankees. They won on the road. They did their job, won on the road, and now, if you look at the standings, thanks to that sweep, the Yankees are ahead by 1 game.
Thanks to that sweep.
Now they got the number 1 spot in the wild card, and the Red Sox have the 2nd spot, in which you got 3 teams beneath the Red Sox who are just 3 games away. And this is the last week of the season. So with Red Sox, you got to find a way to win. Speaking of finding a way to win, let's talk about this next series between the Atlanta Braves, my Atlanta Braves, and the San Diego Padres. Now, this one was a 4-game series. One was a finish from a July game in which the Padres won that one. So they won the finish game. But the Braves swept, even though we both picked the tie. The Braves end up winning this series 3-1.
Congratulations to you on that. I know you didn't really just need it, but I mean, it helps.
Really need it because now we're 2.5 games ahead of the Phillies, and we got them starting tomorrow.
Yeah, so, I mean, unless y'all plan on just not playing anybody, then I mean that should be an interesting series.
Very interesting indeed, because I don't think any one of the teams between us and the Phillies can actually make it to the wild card. So that we got to win the division. You see, to win the division or we're out. That's pretty much what it is. All right, let's move on to this next one between the cheating ass Astros and the Oakland A's, in which we both picked the A's 2-1. Both wrong on that one. It was a sweep by the A's. Didn't see that one coming.
No, did not. That's 2 of them.
But however, I think that the Astros pretty much don't care because they 5 games ahead in the West, in the AL West. So they pretty much got it locked in that they gonna win. They gonna win that division. So they ain't really worried about that.
Yeah, they good.
And the A's really got something to battle for because I think it's 2 games behind the 2nd place spot. Now they 3 games behind the Red Sox for the 2nd spot in the wild card. So they do have something to play for. Moving on to the next one, we got the Chicago White Sox taking on the Cleveland Indians, in which this was a 5-game series. We both picked the Indians 3-2. Got him wrong. It was White Sox 3-2.
Terrible weekend in baseball so far.
Yeah, it is. But the only problem with this one is the White Sox already clinched, and the Indians are eliminated thanks to that. So you won't see the Indians in the playoffs this year. All right, last but not least, we got the the San Francisco Giants taking on Reggie's Colorado Rockies. This was a shot bet, and I said Giants sweep. Reggie said Rockies 2-1. Turns out, I got my sweep. Giants sweep.
Turns out, I'm eliminated, and I got to take a shot for that.
Y'all been eliminated, but
well, yeah, technically, but officially.
Yeah, officially. So are the San Diego Padres. Thanks to us beating them. Forgot to announce that.
This is for my Rockies next year. We coming back next year.
Mm-hmm. You was close to 100 wins though.
I said 90.
Well, you were definitely close to 90.
All right,
that does it for baseball. We'll be talking more about baseball on Wednesday. But yeah, because this is the last week and we definitely need to discuss it. All right, let's talk about some college football. It's very interesting games in college football. Let's get to it. First one, we got Villanova taking on the 6th-ranked Penn State, in which Penn State did win that game 38-17. We both picked Penn State, of course. Why wouldn't we? I should have replaced that with another game. That was my fault. But I'll do better next time. Let's go to this next game in which it was 12th ranked Notre Dame taking on 18th ranked Wisconsin, in which, Reggie, you did pick Notre Dame. I picked Wisconsin. Notre Dame won 41-13. It wasn't really this much of a blowout until the last, 3 minutes of the game, which it was 3 turnovers, 2 of them ran back for a touchdown.
Well, I mean, a win is a win, man.
Notre Dame pulled it off. Wisconsin, your offense is trash. All right, let's move on to this next one, though. Between 7th-ranked Texas A&M and 16th-ranked Arkansas, in which, Reggie, you did pick Texas A&M. No, I picked Texas A&M. You picked Arkansas.
Yes, I did.
Shot bet, you won 20-10. Arkansas won that game easily. The score does not show how easily Arkansas had that game.
Yeah, man, Arkansas have really showed me something. I remember on a segment that we did, I pretty much had Arkansas in the bottom tier of the SEC, along with Missouri, Tennessee, Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
But these damn Razorbacks, or South Carolina, Kentucky, I like these Razorbacks. They might be something to mess with.
They are looking good.
Yeah.
So let me take my shot for that. Fuck you, Texas A&M. How the hell I do a shot bet on Texas A&M? That's my thing.
I'm not sure. Probably because I said something about tie. It end up in a tie.
Yeah, you did.
Like, fuck it. I'll ride with them. But whatever.
Because I thought about picking Arkansas, but I was like, I'm gonna go with Texas A&M.
Well, you did kind of, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. All right, let's go to the next one between 25th ranked Kansas State taking on Oklahoma State, in which you picked the ranked team, I picked Oklahoma State. You decided you want to do a shot bet on it, and yeah, Oklahoma State won 31-20.
Yep. So much for picking a ranked team, and you was dead on with it. You said that this would be an upset, and it was. Kansas State. It's for y'all.
I said it mainly because Kansas State is ranked 25th, and Oklahoma State was still 3-0 at the time. So I figured that, hey.
Well, you didn't say that Friday. What you said Friday?
I said they was ranked last. I mean, you can't be ranked 26.
What you said was that if Vegas got Oklahoma and they not ranked, then I'm gonna go with Oklahoma. Right? So I was like, shit, I didn't even think about that.
Yep, Vegas did say they was the favorite, and they covered the spread, which is strange. Last but not least, we got 24th ranked UCLA taking on Stanford, who is unranked. But I did not go with the unranked team this time. I decided to go with UCLA. We both did. And it turns out that UCLA did win this one by the score of 35-24. What a catch, if that's a catch.
It's not.
That's definitely not a catch. All right. That does it for college football. Now let's do a recap of the rankings for college football. Heading into this week, we got Alabama number 1, obviously. Georgia number 2, who defense is incredible. We're looking right now. Oregon's number 3. Penn State, number 4. Shocking. Iowa, number 5. Another Big Ten team. Oklahoma dropped 2 spots to 6. Cincinnati. Arkansas is 8. Then got Notre Dame, 9.
SEC.
Florida, 10. We dropped to 11. And guess who was behind us? Ole Miss. Ole Miss is 12.
Miss.
BYU moved up to 13. Michigan is right there at 14. Texas A&M dropped 8 spots to 15. Then you got Coastal Carolina moving up. Michigan State moved up to 17. Fresno State moved up. Oklahoma State is finally in the rankings at 19. UCLA moved up. They 20. Baylor is in the rankings. Auburn moved up. And then NC State came into the rankings. Wake Forest. And I don't know how in the hell Clemson is still ranked.
I don't know.
They 25th.
I don't know. They haven't showed me nothing.
Nothing at all. But they still ranked. I guess your boy paid the money to take keep him ranked.
Oh, now we're gonna blame it on Peyton.
Oh, who?
You said who we blaming it on?
The head coach.
Dabo?
Yeah, Dabo. Yeah, Dabo Swinney.
So it has nothing to do with the committee. It has nothing to do with Nick Saban. Now the pressure is on Dabo Swinney for why they are still a ranked team after looking like they looked on Saturday.
Yes, like come on, man. We 2-2. Please have us. No, I want our names to be still ranked. Come on, Ole Miss is better than us. Come on, man, please. Fresno State is ahead of us. Come on, man.
But look, I did see Fresno State been fucking balling. Like I said from the beginning of the season, that first takeaway that we did when they played Oregon, yeah, Fresno State, they got some heat behind them. They want all the smoke.
Yeah, Fresno State, but that's hilarious. That is hilarious. Oh, God. All right. Let's move on to the NFL. NFL, we had 5 games. Then we'll talk about this Monday Night Football game that's currently playing right now. Let's go to this first one. We got the New Orleans Saints taking on the New England Patriots, in which this was a shot bet because I picked Patriots, you picked Saints. 28-13 winner, your New Orleans Saints. And I'm going to be honest with you.
Which, by the way, is 10 points more than what the Green Bay Packers scored against my New Orleans Saints.
Damn. So even as bad as Mac Jones played, they still was able to score 10 more points than the Packers. That is incredible. That is incredible indeed. And this right here is my shot for the Saints beating them. Their defense just beat the hell out of Mac Jones. They knew exactly what to do against Mac Jones. They knew that he do not throw the ball down the field, so they guarded the short passes and blitzed with the rest. And that was the easy way to win. Now, I can't wait to see what the Bucs gonna do this coming up week, but we'll talk about that later on. All right, let me take my shot.
That ought to be a damn good one. Not to mention, whatever the spread is, if you betting, whatever the spread is,
it's opened up at 5.5 for the Bucs.
Take the Bucs with that 5.5. Easy.
Take it now because it's gonna jump.
Yeah, I know it's gonna jump. It's gonna jump to at least probably 13.
Nah, it ain't gonna go that far.
It
might go 8 tops.
Nah, yeah. It's going double digits easily.
Oh, no. If he go to 13, I might take the Patriots.
I wouldn't.
I think Bill Belichick got something up his sleeve. All right.
Another L. That's what he got up his sleeve.
Well, the Buccaneers defense ain't that good either. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. All right, let's talk about this sorry-ass game between the Atlanta Falcons and the New York Football Giants, in which, Reggie, you did pick the Falcons. I picked the Giants. Falcons game winner, won 17-14.
You're also welcome, too, because you wanted to take a shot bet on this game, but I said no. So you're welcome.
You should have. Instead of taking a shot bet on this next one. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on my LA Rams while Reggie go get that bottle. Reggie did pick the Buccaneers. I picked, of course, my Rams. Matthew Stafford balled out 4 touchdowns, over 300 yards passing, and we won the game 34-24. Really 34-17. They scored towards the end of the game, which pretty much is garbage points. And yeah, Reggie, what's up?
The only reason I accepted this one was because there was a shot bet on my game, and I accepted a shot bet for your game. So we are technically even. Like you thought wrong, I thought wrong. Here it is.
Yeah, did indeed. I know one thing we thought right on. This next one, we got the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Minnesota Vikings, in which we both picked the Vikings to win this game. We was right. My wife's team lost by the score of 30-17, which is exactly 14 more points than when you picked against your wife's team, in which they only scored 3, and that was the Green Bay Packers against the New Orleans Saints.
Facts. These are facts, people. Facts.
So we are what? I am 2-0 against my wife's team.
You are 2-0, and
we'll talk about your record in a few minutes. Green Bay Packers taking on the San Francisco 49ers, in which this was a shot bet to defend your wife, because you did not believe that the Packers can beat the 49ers, in which the Packers did beat the 49ers by a game-winning field goal by Mason Crosby, and they won 30-28. So, Reggie, now you're 1-1 against your wife.
Now I am 1-1 against my wife.
And I'm unbeaten.
It's fine. It's fine. I wanted to pick my wife's team, but I mean, we all saw how the Lions in Green Bay game started off all the way to halftime, and then Green Bay shot off. I did say that if you're a Green Bay Packer fan, not to be worried that Saints victory, it wasn't a fluke, but it was the first game of the season. He was, all the off-season stuff that went on, the fact that he didn't play a preseason game. I mentioned all that before, but that's no excuse. I lost. I picked the 49ers. They lost. So, shot.
Yep, definitely is a shot. All right.
Getting a little warm now. I ain't took this many shots on the show in a while.
Right. Remember, I took that 5. That's still a record holding on to today.
Yeah, you a drinker.
Yeah, whatever. All right. Monday Night Football, which is currently being played right now, and the score is 20-7, right? About to head to halftime.
7 and headed to halftime.
Okay. 20-7, Cowboys are up against the Philadelphia Eagles. Reggie, you picked the Cowboys. I went with the Eagles. Now let's talk about the 3-bet challenge. For those of you who are new to the program, 3-bet challenge, we give you 3 games that we make a bet on. For all you sports bettors out there, you can parlay them if you want, but we telling you that we believe that these 3 picks will make you money. And we challenge each other on these 3 picks, in which the loser has to take a shot. If the winner get all 3 of them correct, the loser has to take a shot. If either one of us get all 3 wrong, we have to take 2 shots. So with that being said, with all that being explained, let's get to it. Let's start with you, Reggie. Reggie, your first one was Notre Dame taking on Wisconsin. You went over 45, and thanks to them late touchdown by Notre Dame, you covered the over 45 because the score was 41-13, which equals to 54.
I did myself on that one.
All right. So congrats to you on that one. Let's go to the next one. Reggie, you did a LSU Mississippi State game. A game in which I actually watched because I wanted to see how the score was going to be. And in the first half, you was looking really, really good because the score was definitely heading towards the under 56. But that second half was crucial. It definitely was crucial, in which the end score of that game ended up being 28-25. And if you add that up, that is only 53. Reggie, you still covered under 56. You got that one right. So can you go 3 for 3? We shall see. Rutgers taking on Michigan, in which you did pick the over in this Rutgers-Michigan game, over 49.5. Now, Michigan should have been able to easily beat Rutgers, right?
Should have.
But did they? No, they did not. Sure. 20-13. They only scored 33 points total. And it was a close game. So all that sitting there, all that faith and all that positive energy I gave Michigan just so they can do something like that, I feel better now. I feel like we can still keep the record going. So we shall see.
But we are clear that Ohio State is not in the college football playoff talks.
No, we're not. Currently, we're not.
Okay.
It's still a chance.
It's not.
Their state is 4th, so it's still a chance.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. All right. So you went 2-1 because that Michigan Rutgers game did not put you over the edge. So in order for me to win, I have to at least tie or get all 3 right. So get 2 or 3. Let's talk about it. My first one was the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the LA Chargers, and I picked the Chiefs to cover. And boy. I'd like to give a shout out to Nick Wright, because Nick Wright fucked me up on this one. He sat there and said they have not covered in 7 out of the last 8 games they played. And now it's 8 out of the last 9.
That can't be right because they covered last year. They barely lost last year to the Chiefs. And I'm not sure.
I'm talking about covered like the game. Like they never covered the spread. The Chiefs have never covered the spread in 7 of their last 8 games.
Against the Chargers?
No, against any team.
Oh, okay, I get it.
And he said they were going to cover this game. They ended up losing 30-24. Man, oh man. That's a hit. All right, so I'm starting off weak. Let's go to this next one. We got Arkansas, in which they did face Texas A&M. Even though I did pick Texas A&M to win that game, I said they would not win easily. I believe Arkansas would cover at 5.5. Not only did they cover the 5.5, they pretty much won the game. So I got a winner in that one. Now it all boils down to this last one for me to tie. I need this last one in order to tie. So let's see how this last one went. On Saturday, I said Clayton Kershaw will be the starting pitcher for the LA Dodgers, and they was taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. And yes, Clayton Kershaw, you a bitch. Lost by the score of 7-2. Even though your team did not help you out in actually getting some runs, but hey, you gave up some runs early in the game, and that's the reason why y'all probably ain't gonna win the division. So, with that being said, I end up being 1-2, and I lost.
Reggie is back in the winning column after a 1 week fall off from doing the exact same thing. I said I was going to try my over-unders again, and it prevailed.
I learned valuable lessons in this 3-bet challenge. The first one, these sports analysts don't know what the hell they talking about in certain situations. Nick Wright is one of them. Even though I do respect him for what he does, he makes sports analysts very, very entertaining. But yeah, I believed in him. He failed. Also, I believed in a future Hall of Famer by the name of Clayton Kershaw, and he failed me too. The only team that didn't fail me is the team I actually didn't pick to win. I picked the Cubs. So, I guess I deserve this. This is my shot.
You did. It's okay.
That is rough. All right. So that does it for our 3-bet challenge. That does it for our weekend in sports. But we're not done talking about this weekend in sports because we are going to give you our takeaway from this weekend. So, Reggie, I'm going to let you go first. You let me know your 3 takeaways from this weekend in sports.
All right. My 3 are going to be all centered around NFL. And no, we have had too much to say about the 109-yard run by the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, no, that will not be a part of this. What I will talk about is something that I mentioned previously on a team that I felt should not worry. The Chiefs should be worried. That defense looks terrible. It does not matter. Defense wins games. As of right now, the Chiefs in total offensive yards are 7th. They're ranked 7th. Did anyone believe the Chiefs could be ranked anything out of the top 5? No, they're 7th. In passing, they are tied for 5. In rushing, they are 13. In points, they are 5. In third down percentages, they are 2nd, which is shocking as fuck to me. Defense, they have given up. You know what? I'm not even gonna say the number. They are 31st in defense. 31st. We didn't think that because of how good the offense played, but nobody ever took that step back to say, well, how good is their defense really? I mean, we all saw it, but here again, in the last 3 years, they did nothing defensively to beef that up. If we can go back to the Super Bowl last year, we saw that it was just defense. Couldn't get started on offense because you was terrible on defense. So yeah, that's one takeaway for me. I just don't see how they can make a rebound unless they just continuously outscore the opponent. But at some point in time, that's gonna get tiring. Like you can't just go out there and depend on your guys week in, week out to just continue to make plays, and your defense does nothing. They do nothing. They gave up 30. They almost gave up 30 to the Browns. Not to say that the Browns are a pushover, but at the same time, in everybody's minds, it's the Browns. So, yeah, Chiefs got to do better defensively. Make some trades. Like think about that. Your quarterback is good. Wide receivers, running backs, everything, the O-line, everything that you got offensively is clicking for you. You just do not have the defense to stop anybody. That hurts you. Second one, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna catch some flack behind this one. More than 100% sure I'm gonna catch some flack behind this one. I'm gonna take away the Steelers. Now, before I get started, I am not an advocate for hating on the Steelers. Unlike my counterpart, CEO slash owner, Lamar SoReal. I'm not gonna bash the Steelers. But in your words, bitch ass Big Ben didn't do a bitch ass Big Ben thing at all. The man was 38 for 58, 318 yards. I'll give him that. One touchdown, two interceptions. That is terrible. You are a vet in this league. A vet. We have guys looking up to you. We have guys, boys, little kids looking up to you. Their dads, their granddads have looked up to you to carry this organization. You've been with this organization from the beginning. But these numbers are horrific. I don't know what the hell. 2 interceptions? I don't know. I don't know how you're gonna bounce back from that. I have no idea. But as of right now, y'all not looking good. Steelers fans, y'all are not looking good. Who they got next week? Let me see.
Don't matter.
It does matter. It does matter.
Count it up as an L for whoever
they got the Packers.
Oh, you gonna pick against your wife's team anyway? So
I'm probably not. Probably not. Not at home. No way. So, with that being said, Big Ben, you gotta readjust. Your boy, who you talk so highly about, Najee Harris from Alabama, has not showed me shit. I didn't think he was gonna be shit. You hyped him up. Claypool ain't getting the looks that he deserved. Juju ain't getting the looks that he deserves. It's just and it all trickles down to whether or not Big Ben is the guy for next year. This year, no, he's not. What's that?
I ain't saying that.
Oh, you had big hopes on Justin Fields over Andy Dalton. I kind of believed you. What's up, man? Hey, how you doing? You enjoy the movie?
Yeah. Look, I
Cool.
just disappeared.
Mm-hmm. Now disappeared back into the room. Told you I'm gonna be busy for a minute. All right, go ahead.
All right, yeah. So yeah. Last up, I'm talking about a guy on Swaggy Nagy's payroll as of right now, and that's Justin Fields. Justin Fields came into this league saying that the game speed was too slow. He deserves to be docked for that fucking statement. He took his ass out here and got sacked 9 times. 4.5 by Myles Garrett alone. He was 6 of 20 for 68 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, but accumulated 9 sacks. And 4.5, 5 came from alone Myles Garrett, which is obviously and arguably the best stat line I've seen in a long fucking time. And when I say a long, I mean a long time. Not to mention that Matt Nagy also said that the starting quarterback role is undecided as of right now. It's either Andy Dalton or Justin Fields. Like, what do you think works best for your organization right now? Somebody who can get in there and actually win a game, or the guy who said that the game is too slow and gets sacked 9 times? I'm not sure y'all are ready. Chicago Bears should be worried. Chicago Bears are on their way to being the laughing stock of the NFL. To be real. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say on my takeaways. The Chiefs defense need to step up. Big Ben, not Steelers, just Big Ben, you need to step up. And the entire Chicago Bears organization needs to find out which direction y'all need to go, whether it's at least a winner in Andy Dalton or a questionable kid who is confused in Justin Fields. Y'all need to figure it out and figure it out fast, because the division that they're in is it'll creep upon you.
Great. Had 3 great takeaways from this past weekend. You actually stole one of mine, and you know I wanted to talk about bitch ass Big Ben, but you said enough.
I mean, you still cover it. Go ahead.
No, because I don't want to add insult to injury, which pretty much how he looks on the field as of right now. So I'm gonna discuss something else, and the first one I want to discuss is the fact that my Braves came through with a great weekend worth of wins. Boy, I tell you the truth. We needed that so bad because you know I'm a huge fan of Fernando Tatis and the Padres, what they would have been able to do. But now they are eliminated from the playoffs, and we still have a shot of making the playoffs. I have said in previous, 2 months ago, that during the trade deadline, we should do nothing because we don't have a chance of winning at all. Then I apologize for it because I was wrong. The trades that we made helped us out tremendously, and it's showing out. We got an Adam Duvall with 30 home runs. We got an Ozzie Albies who's still on the who's been on the team. He got 30 home runs. We got you already know about Freddie Freeman. He got 30 home runs. Alex Riley, somebody that my father always talked about that shouldn't have started. He picked Johan Camargo over Alex Riley. He ended up hitting 30 home runs. And we still got one player that can still hit 30 home runs by the end of this year in Dansby Swanson. And he's just a shortstop. We actually have a chance. This Philly series is the most important series of the season. And we have to win this series in order for us to solidify our chances of being in the playoffs. So with that being said, I got to give kudos to my Atlanta Braves. This weekend, you won that series against the Padres, in which I picked a tie. You went over that tie and ended up winning the series. So kudos to you. Now, since you said I can do it, I will do it. Bitch ass Big Ben, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I got a phone call last night, Reggie, and guess who called me? My own father. And guess what he told me? Man, we need to get rid of Big Ben. Big Ben, it is over. I am sick of Big Ben. Big Ben needs to retire. He is ruining the team. He is hurting our chances of winning. And the first thing I said was, I told you so. I told you that bitch ass Big Ben would be the reason why you do not win. Because bitch ass Big Ben only cares about himself. Bitch ass Big Ben wants to throw the ball, even though he's unable to throw the ball. Bitch ass Big Ben will sit there and counsel a running play just so he can throw the ball. Even though he did throw the ball to Najee Harris 14 times, guess what? You can replace them 14 catches from Najee Harris. For those of you who are a fantasy owner of Najee Harris, shouts out to you because you got a lot of fantasy points based off those catches, even though those catches did not contribute to a lot of yards. You could have replaced those with rushing yards and probably would have had a better game. He threw 2 interceptions to the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, shouts out to Joe Burrow because Joe Burrow throwing to who? Jamar Chase, who said he had problems catching the football. Obviously, he done got rid of those problems because he done caught a touchdown in the first 3 games of his career. And that connection is coming back from LSU. Now it's with the Cincinnati Bengals. They lost to the Bengals. So you know what that means. They're not able to beat the Browns. They're not able to beat the Ravens. They're not able to beat the Bengals. So you know what that contributes to? Them being last in their division. And that's exactly where they're sitting at right now. Last in their division. And I sat there and predicted it. That was my bold prediction. That your boy Mike Tomlin has had a winning record every single year he's been the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. This year, all records must be broken. And this year, they will not have a winning record by the end of this year. All thanks to who? Bitch ass Big Ben. All right, that's just my second. Now let's go to my last but not least. Let's go to the college football bank. And I discussed this earlier. I do want to talk about Clemson. I want to talk about Clemson so bad because I am not a fan. I'm going to be honest with you. I am not a fan of Dabo Swinney. I really ain't. I don't like how he coaches. I don't like how he feels like that just because he ended up winning against winning against Alabama and winning championships, that he has some kind of high pedestal now that he can't be talked down upon. I don't like any of it. The reason why he actually won those championships was based off a great quarterback, and that's it. Great quarterback.
And running back.
Well, yeah, the running back was pretty good. But I give it more to the quarterback because the quarterback threw that thing against Alabama.
I mean, that's how you beat Alabama. We never have had good secondary help. We have never had secondary help.
You had top corners, but you never had like a really strong secondary. You had a very strong front seven. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, everybody talked about how this new quarterback was going to sit there and help Clemson win. Right now, they're 2-2. And they still ranked, which is shocking to me. They shouldn't be ranked. They should not be ranked at all. Because look at their schedule. We talked about it when they first lost. The ACC. Their schedule should be easily won, and yet they found a way to lose. And they ain't finna be done losing. They gonna lose some more. Might I tell you the teams that Clemson will lose to? Do you want to hear them, Rich? Do you want to hear the teams that I predict that Clemson will lose to now since they done lost their first 2 games out of 4? They done lost to Georgia and they done lost to NC State. You know who their next game is against? A 4-0 Boston College. Lost. Let's go to the next one. They got a 3-1 Syracuse. Lost. Let's go to the next one. Pittsburgh. They playing Pitt, who is 3-1. Lost. Let's go to the next one. Florida State. you know I ain't gonna give them a loss in that one. Florida State is absolutely atrocious. Let's move on to the next one. Louisville, 3-1, lost. Let's keep on going. Let's keep these L moving. UConn, baby, who haven't won a game, I don't know in how long. They end up winning that game. That's an easy game for them. Then after that game, they got a 24th ranked Wake Forest, who is ranked ahead of them, lost. And then last, but certainly not least, South Carolina, SEC. They on the road. They pretty much probably done coughed up all these damn losses. They might finish the job. South Carolina beats the hell out of them, and they end up losing. So Reggie, did you ever predict that Dabo Swinney and Clemson Tigers will end up having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 losses in one season?
I'm definitely not saying and or agreeing to that. They will beat Boston College.
All right. Okay. They will beat Boston College at home, who is unranked and unbeaten.
That's about it.
Mm-hmm. We shall see. But to sum it all up, I hate Dabo Swinney. Dabo Swinney, you finally getting what you deserve. And hopefully, you will find some way to leave the organization, leave the college, because you know that you only going downhill from here. There's no way you coming back up. You have reached the middle point of bottom, and then towards the end of the season, you will hit, like The Rock will always say, rock bottom. Those are my 3 takeaways from this past weekend.
Good shit, man. Good shit.
All right. Speaking of shit, it's time for my segment.
On that note, before you get involved in it, you know, on my segment, I mentioned the fights at the games. Did you see the fight at the Chiefs and Chargers game?
No. Now I gotta Google some more.
You gotta check it out, man. You gotta check it out. But yeah, not to deter you from, you know, your segment or whatever, because obviously it has nothing to do about the fights at the stadium, which I felt like needs to be addressed by Goodell, and it really does. Beefed up security, shit like that needs to be put in place. But yeah, I'm through talking. Go ahead.
All right. So let's talk about it. My segment goes out to all my WWE or AEW fans. Wrestling did happen this past weekend. I did want to bring it up because I knew I was going to have it on my segment. So let's discuss my segment. WWE Extreme Rules came on last night. And I want to talk about the matchups and my grades for each matchup. Not doing the kickoff show between Carmella and Liv Morgan. Really don't care too much about that one. Let's talk about the first matchup. The New Day taking on Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, and Omos, in which New Day did pick up the victory. I do give this grade a B. Really like the match between these two. New Day has very great rapport because they've been together for over 5 years. And what they do in the ring is incredible. I really like Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley's still doing his thing. He will get a belt. He will win the title sooner or later. But right now they need to ride heavy on Big E, and they will do so. Move on to the next one. We got a tag team championship between the Usos and the Street Profits, in which the Usos remain the champions. I give this grade a B+. because I really like these two tag teams. Street Profits are very athletic. Angela Dawkins, he is very athletic for his size, but the Usos are showing that they are the best tag team in WWE, and they deserve to keep them belts. Moving on to the next one, we got the Women's Raw Championship match between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I don't know what's about to happen to Alexa Bliss, but I wouldn't be shocked if she leaves and move on to AEW, which brings another WWE player to AEW. But the match, I give it a B+ also. Both of these women can fight. Both of these women are good at fighting. So I have to give it to them. They are good at fighting. So, Charlotte ended up retaining the championship. So nobody lost the belt so far. Let's move on to the next one. A triple threat match for the U.S. title between Damian Priest, Jeff Hardy, and Sheamus. I love triple threat matches, but overall, I'm going to give this one a B. Mainly because Damian Priest retained the title. And Jeff Hardy, just like Alexa Bliss, might move on and go to AEW with his brother, Matt Hardy. Let's go to the next one. Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This ended up getting a disqualification thanks to a surprise appearance from the boss, Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks came through and destroyed Bianca Belair and then ended up beating up Becky Lynch. So now I feel like this is going to be a triple threat match. But before that assault match, I give it definitely a A. Both women are very incredible. Last but not least, we got Roman Reigns taking on the Demon, Finn Balor, for the SmackDown. No, this for the World Heavyweight Championship, in which Roman Reigns kept the belt, all thanks to a botch by WWE. I did not like this match. I give it overall a C because it should not end it that way. Roman Reigns still the champ, and I don't like it whatsoever. So overall, I give WWE Extreme Rules a B. We shall see what's going to happen in the coming up weeks. But next, I will probably talk about AEW because I think their pay-per-view is coming up. So those are my recaps for WWE Extreme Rules on last night. I'm done.
Thank you.
Shut up. All right. Now, let's talk about the fact that we are done. Wednesday, we'll be talking about baseball. We will give a recap of, we'll talk a little bit of college football, and then we'll finish it off with the NFL. And Reggie, you will have your segment on Wednesday.
And which I'm talking about, hockey. Hockey has started, unless something else comes up, like the time that R. Kelly will serve behind bars. I could talk about that, but keep it light.
He still got another court case he got to deal with.
Yeah, but as of right now, he is fucking washed.
Yeah, he's serving life.
Tell you what,
still doing preseason or the season started?
Do this for me right quick.
Season
Google his net worth. Google R. Kelly's net worth. This is live. This is recorded. I want you to Google R. Kelly's net worth, and your reaction is going to be captured live.
$2 million.
Negative.
Surely.
So
I didn't see the minus sign. Shit. Damn.
Nigga, we richer than R. Kelly.
I got more money than R. Kelly.
We got more money than R. Kelly.
What? Damn. That nigga fuck. That nigga gonna be walking the Green Mile after these goddamn court cases. Dang. All right.
I never thought I'd say that in my life.
All right. We're done, man. We're going to get ready for Wednesday. But I hope y'all enjoyed this week again in sports. Get ready. Oh, yeah. Baseball season is coming to an end.
Oh, yeah. Update on Monday Night Football. Cowboys 27, Eagles 7. Third quarter, 9 minutes and 48 seconds left.
The way Jalen Hurts is playing, they won't come back and win. So, yeah, the Cowboys will end up winning this game. All I'm hoping for is for it to go over 51 points. So that's my only hope right now.
If Cowboys keep scoring, you can almost bet on it.
All right. We are done for the night. Like always, we give you our salute. We'll see y'all on Wednesday. Y'all be safe out there.
Yes, sir.
We out.
We out.